America didn't reach the moon because it built the best rocket. It reached the moon because it built the right place to launch one, a place where geography, architecture, and urgency aligned at exactly the right moment. This isn't the story of a spacecraft, it's the story of the ground beneath it. This is Structory, where buildings aren't just buildings, they're decisions, warnings, and weapons. Today we're at Cape Canaveral, the architecture that didn't just support spaceflight, but made America a spacefaring superpower. To most people, Cape Canaveral is a launch site, a stretch of Florida coastline with rockets and countdowns. It's where astronauts lifted off, where history happened. But that explanation skips the real story, because rockets don't decide who wins a space race. Infrastructure does. And Cape Canaveral wasn't chosen for inspiration, it was chosen for survival. In the late 1950s, America faced a shock. The Soviet Union launched Sputnik, and suddenly space became a battlefield. The United States needed to launch rockets that were larger, heavier, and more dangerous than anything it had ever attempted. The problem wasn't just engineering, it was where to put that engineering. You needed isolation, safety buffers measured in miles, access to open ocean, and a location that could fail without destroying cities. Cape Canaveral solved all of it. Cape Canaveral sits on Florida's east coast, with the Atlantic Ocean directly downrange. That wasn't accidental. If a rocket exploded, debris would fall into water. If guidance failed, nothing vital would be hit. Its latitude provided another advantage. Earth's rotation added free speed to launches, reducing fuel requirements. But the real architectural innovation wasn't the coastline, it was scale. Launch complexes weren't buildings, they were systems. Massive flame trenches, sound suppression basins, launch towers taller than skyscrapers. Everything was oversized, spaced apart, and hardened because rockets don't behave like machines, they behave like controlled disasters. To go to the moon, America had to assemble the largest rocket ever built. That required a building unlike anything before it. The Vehicle Assembling Building was designed not for people, but for stacking skyscrapers vertically. Its doors were taller than the Statue of Liberty. Its interior volume could swallow cathedrals. Inside, architecture wasn't aesthetic, it was logistical. Gravity, cranes, and clearance dictated every dimension. This wasn't construction, it was industrial choreography. Cape Canaveral transformed architecture itself. Traditional buildings became obsolete. Nothing before it had dealt with vibration levels, acoustic shock waves, or thermal loads like this. Entire design disciplines emerged: blast-resistant structures, flame deflection systems, and remote control infrastructure. But there was a cost. Launch failures were violent, deadly, public. Architecture had to accept that destruction was part of the process. At Cape Canaveral, failure wasn't hidden, it was engineered around. When America built Cape Canaveral, the world noticed. The Soviet Union responded with its own isolated launch complexes. Other nations followed, placing spaceports far from cities, near oceans or deserts. Cape Canaveral became the template. It told the world something important, that space dominance begins on Earth. Infrastructure, not ambition, determines who leaves the planet first. Today, Cape Canaveral still launches rockets, but the mission has changed. Private companies operate alongside government programs. Reusability reshapes launch architecture. Pads evolve to support faster turnaround, not just raw power. Yet the original logic remains: isolation, scale, redundancy. The same architectural principles that sent astronauts to the moon still shape every launch today. Cape Canaveral proves a simple truth. History isn't changed by moments, it's changed by preparation.
The moon landing didn't begin in space. It began with concrete, distance, and design. Because architecture doesn't just support ambition, it determines whether ambition survives reality. This is Structory,